Good morning, Year 2, and welcome to Wednesday's English. This should be quite a short video this morning before you get on with your activity. But we are starting with quite a tricky starter this morning. I remember doing this with Year 2 last year, and they found this quite difficult. So if you were in school, we would have printed these statements out for you to read and look at on your table to sort into the sort of statements you'd expect to see in a non-chronological report and those that you wouldn't. So remember, a non-chronological report is a non-fiction fact book about something. The report bit means it tells you facts, and the non-chronological bit means it's not something that has to happen in a particular order. So have a look through these. Which ones do you think would go in a non-chronological report and which wouldn't? So I'll read them through to you first, and then you can pause the video and decide, or you can do it as we go along if you want. So we've got dancing in the glorious moonlight. The silver unicorn had never felt so proud or so special. And this one, there are 4 seasons in a year. These are spring, summer, autumn, and winter. There are also 12 months in a year. Then we've got this one. First, you get 2 pieces of bread. You can choose white, brown, or wholemeal seeded bread. Wholemeal seeded bread is the healthiest choice. And over here we've got, suddenly there was a flash of light as bright as the sun, and from the centre his fairy godmother appeared. And then we've got this one. Asia is the largest continent in the world. The smallest is Australia. Slowly, the hideous grey toad hopped through the gloomy wood towards his unsuspecting prey. There are 5 oceans in the world. These are the Atlantic, Arctic, Indian, Pacific, and Southern Oceans. So, which ones would you expect to see in a non-chronological report and which would you not? And have a think about which statements did you not include and why not? So pause the video if you need to now. Okay, I'm going to have a look at sorting them then. So let's have a look. Dancing in the glorious moonlight. The silver unicorn had never felt so proud or so special. I'm going to say no. I'm going to put that one over there. I'm going to have yes on this side and no on this side. I think that one sounds like something from a story because it's talking about how the unicorn's feeling. And also, I don't think it sounds like it's really happening, dancing in the glorious moonlight. I'm not going to get into the debate we had last year about whether unicorns are real or not. Okay, and then we've got, let's do this one next. There are 4 seasons in a year. These are spring, summer, autumn, and winter. There are also 12 months in a year. Yes, I think that would go in a non-chronological report. That's telling us facts. Let's do this one next. Suddenly there was a flash of light as bright as the sun, and from the centre his fairy godmother appeared. That word suddenly, I don't think you'd find that telling you about facts, or not very often anyway. I think that shows it's a story, something's happening, rather than it telling us facts. Let's do this one next then. Asia is the largest continent in the world. The smallest is Australia. That's telling us a fact. That's going to go in a non-chronological report. Slowly, the hideous grey toad hopped through the gloomy wood towards his unsuspecting prey. I just noticed something with that. These two have both got the same sort of word beginning the sentences, suddenly and slowly. Can you remember from before half term what type of words they are? Well done if you said adverbs. And I know that if it starts with an adverb, it's probably a story. I think there are examples where you could start a non-fiction text with that. So let's just double check. Slowly, the hideous grey toad hopped through the gloomy wood towards his unsuspecting prey. There's lots of adjectives in there. Hideous grey toad, gloomy wood, unsuspecting prey. I think that shows it's a story. First, you get 2 pieces of bread. You can choose white, brown, or wholemeal seeded bread. Wholemeal seeded bread is the healthiest choice. Well, that's a fact, isn't it? Wholemeal seeded bread is the healthiest choice. So should I put it on this side? Hang on a minute though. Starts with first. First you get 2 pieces of bread. That tells me that it's got an order. So it's not a non-chronological report. I think this is non-fiction. I don't think it goes with the story text up here. So I'm going to put it over here down on the bottom. But it's not a non-chronological report because it's saying first. It's saying we've got to do something in an order. Then we've got this one. There are 5 oceans in the world. These are the Atlantic, Arctic, Indian, Pacific and Southern Oceans. That is a fact. I think that goes in a non-chronological report. So we've got 3 that we're saying yes. These would go in a non-chronological report. And then we've got 4 that we're saying no. Let's have a look at the 3 we're saying yes. There are 4 seasons in a year. These are spring, summer, autumn and winter. There are also 12 months in a year. Asia is the largest continent in the world. The smallest is Australia. There are 5 oceans in the world. These are the Atlantic, Arctic, Indian, Pacific and Southern Oceans. Can you see that they all sound quite similar? They're all telling us facts. They're all quite serious. And then let's have a look at the stories and how they sound different. Dancing in the glorious moonlight, the silver unicorn had never felt so proud or so special. Suddenly there was a flash of light, as bright as the sun, and from the centre his fairy godmother appeared. Slowly the hideous grey toad hopped through the gloomy wood towards his unsuspecting prey. So where these tell you facts, these don't tell you facts, but they make you feel a certain way. They make you feel excited or scared or interested in what's going on. And we use lots of different words. We use a lot more adverbs and adjectives in a story. And this one goes all on its own down here. This one is from a non-fiction text, but it's not a non-chronological report because it's got that word first. I think it sounds a bit like instructions. Did you think that too? First, you get 2 pieces of bread. What do you think this could be instructions for? Maybe a sandwich? You can choose white, brown or wholemeal seeded bread. Wholemeal seeded bread is the healthiest choice. So well done if you spotted that one, because that one was the tricky one. It might have tricked you into thinking it belonged in a non-chronological report. But just remember that non-chronological means it didn't happen in an order. Okay, so today for English, we are learning to show our understanding of a text. So yesterday for English, hopefully you watched my video where I watched about a safari. If you didn't watch that yesterday for any reason, please do go back and watch that today, because that video shows us all about the piece of writing that we're going to be doing. Because at the end of this 2-week unit, we are going to be writing a non-chronological report, this sort of language, but we're going to be writing it about the big 5 animals in Africa. I'll remind you of what those are in a minute. And the audience for that is going to be people who want to find out more about these animals. And our purpose is going to be to inform the reader about what these animals are like and tell them lots of facts about these animals. So here they are, the big 5 safari animals. We've got my favourite, the elephant. We've got black and white rhino here, a leopard, Cape buffalo and a lion. And these are the top animals that tourists hope to see on safari in Africa. That's why we watched the video yesterday about a safari. And we are going to find out about these animals this week so that we can write about them ourselves. So I had a go at writing my own non-chronological report about these animals. And today I'd like you to read it. So this is what your sheets look like. Now you might have noticed if you've printed them off, there's quite a few bits of paper today because you've got 2 different things. You've got your Waggle sheet, and Waggle, you can see on here, stands for what a good one looks like. So it shows you an example of what I want your writing to look like. And so I've had a go at writing my own non-chronological report on the big 5. I want you to read that today. And then down here, we have got the questions that I want you to answer about that text. Now, on the end of the video, I am going to read this Waggle through to you, but I'd like you to pause the video before you do that and have a go at reading it for yourself. If you get stuck, you can watch my part of the video reading it, but I'd really like you to have a try at reading that on your own and answering the questions on your own. So if you're doing the 2-star, 3-star, you can stop the video here and go and have a go at that. And then if you get stuck, come back and play the rest of the video. And after I've explained the easy task, I'll read through your text at the end. Good luck. Okay, so easy task. You have got the same sort of thing to do. So again, if you're feeling brave, pause the video now and have a go on your own. And if you get stuck, you can watch me reading the questions. So hopefully you're only here now if you've got stuck and you need some help with reading. I'm going to read the easy text first and then I will go back and read the main and challenge one. So it says, read the big 5 text carefully, then answer the questions. Number 1, where do the big 5 live? Africa, Asia, or Europe? Let's have a look. Here's the Waggle for you. It says the big 5. The big 5 are animals that live in Africa. They are leopards, there's a picture, elephants, there's a picture, lions, Cape buffalo, and rhinos. So now you should be able to tell me the answer to this question. Where do the big 5 live? Africa, Asia, or Europe? Can you circle the correct word? Now, question number 2's got a picture of a leopard. So let's go and read the part of the text about leopards. Here we go. Lively leopards. Leopards are cats. They are very fast. They have long tails to help them not fall down. So let's go back to that question. Leopards are slow, fast, or red. Can you circle the correct answer? The next question is on elephants. So let's find that part of the text. Read that first. Enchanting elephants. Elephants are big. They have a trunk to get food and water. They eat leaves from the tops of trees. Elephants have a trunk to get fit, food, or hats. Can you circle the correct answer for that one? And then question number 4 is about the lion. So let's have a look at that. Here he is. Lustrous lions. Lions are big cats too. They eat meat. Oh, there's a mistake there. Should I change it? Lions are big cats too. They eat meat. They have a mane on their head. So draw a line to the mane. So there's the word mane. Can you draw a line from that word to where the mane is in this picture, please? Question number 5. I can't tell you the answer to this one because this question is, which animal do you like the best? So go back and have a look through the text. I haven't written it about all the animals. I've only done it on those 3, but there is a picture of all of them at the top. Which one do you like the best? Can you write down the answer on your sheet in this space here? And then extra challenge, can you draw a picture of the animals? Good luck. Okay, shall we have a look now at the Waggle for the main and challenge? And then I'll go through the questions as well. So let me open it up. Not on the reading one. Let's go on the right one. We want the main and challenge Waggle. Here it is. Waggle, what a good one looks like, the big 5. Have you heard of the big 5? These fascinating animals are who tourists desperately want to see around Africa when they are on a safari. Carefully read on if you want to find out more information about 3 of these amazing species. So look, you can get adverbs in non-fiction text as well. I've got one in there, carefully. We just don't tend to use them as much as in stories. Let's read about lively leopards, and then we'll go and have a look at the questions. Lively leopards. Leopards are similar to house cats with whiskers and beady eyes. You wouldn't want to pet them though, because they can be fierce, fast and ferocious. Amazingly, a leopard's tail is as long as its body, which helps it to balance. Did you know that when a leopard gets to top speed, it can run up to 58 kilometres an hour. What a... Okay, so let's have a look at the main and challenge sheet. Remember, you should only be looking at this if you've had a go on your own first and you've got stuck. So try and answer as many questions as you can without listening to me reading it, by reading it yourself. But you are learning to show your understanding of a text. That's why it's important to have a go on your own first, because I want to know if you can answer the questions correctly. And then the challenge, which is quite tricky today, is to use evidence from the text to support your own opinions. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Now, the sheet says, read the big 5 text carefully, then answer the questions. Have a go at the challenge questions if you can, especially if you normally do these in class. And you might have noticed that on each question in brackets, I've put which part of the Waggle text you need to look at. So question 1, you need to look at the introduction. Question 2, you need to look at lively leopards. So let's just do the introduction. So we're going to read the introduction and we're going to look for the answer to this question. In which continent can you find the big 5? So let's have a look at the Waggle. Waggle, what a good one looks like, the big 5. Now, I haven't labelled my introduction. We know, hopefully, that the introduction goes at the beginning. So this first paragraph here, this first chunk of text, this is the introduction. Have you heard of the big 5? These fascinating animals are who tourists desperately want to see around Africa when they are on a safari. Carefully read on if you want to find out more information about 3 of these amazing species. So I've only chosen 3 of the big 5. I haven't written about all of them. Let's look at that question again. In which continent can you find the big 5? So have a look. Right on your sheet, or if you haven't got a sheet, you can do it on a piece of paper. In which continent can you find the big 5? Is it Asia, Europe, Africa, North America? Write down your answer. Let's look at question 2. So this one is for lively leopards. Oh, look, so is question 3. So let's try and look for both. So question 2, what 3 adjectives are used to describe the leopards? And then question 3, challenge question, how does the leopard use its tail? So we're looking for 3 adjectives, those describing words to describe leopards. So not a particular part of the leopard, just leopards in general. And then the challenge is about how it uses its tail. So let's find the lively leopards section. Here it is, lively leopards. Leopards are similar to house cats, with whiskers and beady eyes. There's an adjective, beady. That's talking about the eyes, not leopards in general. You wouldn't want to pet them though, because they can be fierce, fast and ferocious. Amazingly, a leopard's tail, oh here we go, is as long as its body, which helps it to balance. Did you know that when a leopard gets up to top speed, it can run up to 58 kilometres an hour? What amazing predators. So, what 3 adjectives are used to describe the leopards? Have a little look. I think it's somewhere around the middle of that paragraph that there are 3 adjectives to describe the leopards. Can you copy just those 3 words onto the 3 lines? So just write 1 word on each line. Then the challenge question, how does the leopard use its tail? That was at the end of the paragraph, I think. Let's read the end part again. Let's scan for the word tail. There it is. So let's read that sentence from the beginning. Amazingly, a leopard's tail is as long as its body, which helps it to balance. How does the leopard use its tail? What does it help it to do? Write your answer on that line. Okay, now we're on to Enchanting Elephants. Give 2 ways that the elephant uses its trunk. Okay, we'll look out for that as we're reading. Enchanting Elephants. There's the word 2, look. Oh, hang on, it's talking about something else. There are 2 species of elephant. So although scanning for that word 2 can be helpful, it doesn't always help us find the answer. There are 2 species of elephant, the African elephant and the Asian elephant. Interestingly, The African elephant is the largest living land mammal in the world. Can you imagine how strong, powerful and majestic they must be? Elephants are very intelligent and sociable. Here we go. I've seen the word trunk. We're looking for 2 ways an elephant uses its trunk, remember? An elephant's trunk is used to smell, dig and dust themselves. They are also helpful if they need to collect water and food, such as berries and leaves from the tops of trees. Wow, there's a lot of ways there an elephant uses its trunk. I think there might even be more than 2. Let's just check the question. The question only wants 2. The question says give 2 ways that the elephant uses its trunk. So that means you can choose any 2. So have another look at that part. Can you see 2 ways an elephant uses its trunk? Just write 2 of them on those 2 lines. Question number 5 is on lustrous lions. Challenge. What does the author think about hunting? How can you tell? Now, I know that there's a bit in the conclusion as well. So let's read Lustrous Lines and the conclusion here. Lustrous Lines. And we're looking for the author. That was me. So what do I think about hunting? I've given you some clues in what I've written. Do I think hunting is good or bad? Let's have a look. Lustrous Lions. Lions are the 2nd biggest cat after the tiger. You can find them in the wild in Africa and Asia, where they inhabit areas of savanna, grassland and woodland. Sadly, the lion is an endangered species because of habitat loss and hunting by humans. A lion's beautiful mane makes it a popular animal to hunt. How terrible! Did you know that the term Big 5 was originally used by hunters for the animals most difficult to hunt? Thankfully, nowadays, many people disagree with these animals being hunted as a sport and try to protect these animals and their habitats for the future. So the question is a challenge question because it is quite tricky. What does the author think about hunting? Do I think it's good or bad? And how can you tell? So to answer that second part, which you do need to do the challenge, how can you tell? What words do I use that show I think it's good or bad? Are there particular words that make it sound good or bad? Can you write them down? And then finally, a question for everyone. There's no right or wrong answer. Which animal do you think is the most interesting and why? So you can choose which one of the 5. It doesn't have to be one of the ones I've written about. It can be any of the 5, but you do need to say why. And we're talking more about this in guided reading tomorrow. If a question asks you why, your answer needs to use the word because. I think elephants are the most interesting animal because, or I think Cape buffalo are the most interesting animal because. Now, you might want to use one of the ones I've written about because then you can talk about something you've read in my text. But if you know lots about Cape buffalo and you want to write about them, you still can. Or the rhinos, of course. And then finally, if you'd like an extra optional challenge, can you write a letter to the government explaining why you think hunting these animals should be banned? So don't forget to email your work in, and please let your teacher know, did you manage to answer the questions on your own without watching this part of the video, or did you need a little bit of extra help?